Right, guys, welcome back to my channel, Gen Z Finance. This channel, I go over all of my money, budgeting, personal finance, everything for the most part. Today's video is the review of August's budget, reconciling out my accounts and making sure everything is set with that, and then doing an overview of September, going over any changes, and also doing a review of my net worth. So we have a lot to cover as always. My goal is to get this video under 20 minutes, so let's just jump right in and see. So I already went ahead and entered in my checking and saving account interest for the month of August, and that is the to be budgeted number here is $10.39. So as always, I'm going to budget that directly into my emergency fund. Next, so my company did end up doing kind of surprise bonuses. This month they let us know like last Friday, and then we got it this first month, the first day of September, so Tuesday. Okay. And the gross amount was $1,000 gross, but I got $46.50 because I had 19% go into my 401k and then taxes, so I got a little more than half, but that's fine because I just was really not expecting this at all. So we're gonna budget this out very quick. I wasn't expecting this at all because I started in March. Like, I'm not even eligible to get a bonus this year, but they're like, we're giving it to everyone. So, what I'm going to do is put 100 of this into giving for September. Then I'm going to create a new category, probably under here. Call this event 2, debt-free fun. So I'm creating this just to stash some money in here for me to use however I want to celebrate the fact that I am going to be officially debt-free at the end of this month. So stay tuned in the video for more information on that. And then with the rest of this $346.50, I'm just going to put it into holding for now, and then I will definitely find a better place to put it later. But since I was really unprepared for this, I didn't really plan what to do with it yet. So that's that. And we went ahead and budgeted that all in September. Okay, great. Now I'm going to go over to my reports and go to income versus expenses and just go over my income and expenses for August. So in August, I received $166 for my part-time job. I should be getting a similar small paycheck, $62.39, for the first week in September for my part-time job, and then my second paycheck for my part-time job in September should be closer to like $150. Then I had my 2 normal paychecks from my full-time job, $13.55, $95 or $96, and this is with my new increase to my 401k from 15% from like March through July to 19% in August. And then we just entered that $10.39 in cash back or interest for $2,888.66. As always, I did my normal $400 to my mom that I send to her. These are my household bills because I do live with her. Subscriptions, it looks like I only did $666. That's actually because I pay for HBO Max and my mom covers half, so her portion every month is $6, and she went ahead and sent me $18 this month to just cover the next 3 months, so I don't have to keep bothering her about it. So it looks like I actually had more money in HBO Max that I spent, and that's true, but over the next couple of months it will average and even out. In monthly varied, I did $5.70 for dining out. I just got a Starbucks drink one time, $37.97 in other. So this was, I bought 2 random Kindle books. I bought a keyboard cleaner, like one of those slimes that you can put in between your keyboard keys. And then I also bought a pop socket for my new iPhone. It's a Baby Yoda pop socket. It's very cute. Giving, I gave $20 to the Quilliot Moving to High Ground Fund. And the reason I did this is because I spent $18.22 on a cover, I spent $18.22 on Midnight Sun, which is the new book in the Twilight saga from Stephanie Meyer, where it's Twilight but from Edward's point of view. So I was a big Twilight fan when I was younger. I still kind of am a Twilight fan, unfortunately. And since I bought that book, I also did want to give to the Quilliot tribe because they are a real Native American tribe, and they are trying to raise money to move their community and people to, like it says, higher ground to protect themselves from flooding and tsunamis and all of that. And a lot of people don't know that they're a real tribe. It's not just a tribe that Stephanie Meyer made up. She actually took a real tribe and took a real tribe's history, culture, and name, and then like fictionalized it and made a lot of money off of them. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the link to their donations page down below if you're interested in learning more and you're just like, oh, I had no idea that this was a real tribe. Because if you can, you should definitely think about giving to them. If you've ever seen the movie, ever read the book, or ever complained about Twilight ever, you should definitely check them out. So I spent $81.89 in monthly buried. And you'll notice I did not spend anything on gas, and that is for like the 5th month in a row. My sister finally got a new car last weekend, so my car is finally back at our place, at my mom's house, but I don't know if I will be driving it anytime soon, so no gas. Gifts, I spent $139.51 or $91, and that is because I gave $50 to my sister for her birthday, and then my mom's birthday is actually not until October, but I went ahead on Amazon and bought her pretty much like all of her gifts. So that's $85.91. My dad's birthday was actually in August as well. His birthday's like late August, but I didn't give him anything because I haven't seen him since like honestly probably like February or something. So I don't know when I will be able to give him a gift. But when I do see him next, I'll just buy his gift then. I won't talk about this next section too much, because I've already talked about it a lot in the previous like 3 or 4 videos. But for electronics, I did go ahead and buy a new iPhone 11, and then I spent $52 on a case and a screen protector for that iPhone 11, and then I got $119 back to my credit card for trade-in. I traded in an iPhone and they credited me back to my card. So in total I spent $745.34 on my electronics, which was under budget for my iPhone. So I'm happy. It was like under budget by like $10 or something, but that's good. I did $500 to my Roth IRA like I do every month, and then I opened up M1 Finance brokerage account, and I did $100 to them for a first contribution. So I actually put $600 into my little fire category. Total expenses equaled $1,969.80. So I had a net income of $918.86. So let's go into the budget, go back to August, and just review some of the savings that I did this month. So I've had my $100 to my emergency fund, plus the $987 is from July's saving and checking interest money. $500 went into my medical deductibles. I put $400 to a new car fund. That is a new category that I just started this month or in August. And then $156.95 went into holding. And then I put in $115, and this was mostly just the $119 that I received from as like a trade-in value for my iPhone, I put it directly into my new computer replacement category, because that is something that I also think will be coming up sometime this year. So I think that's it for August, but before we move and review everything going on in September, I do want to move extra budgeted money out of August and into September. If you watch my videos for a while, you know I have a tendency to just let my money roll over, so nothing in responsibilities rolls over because those are exact. Oh, I'm so sorry, that was so loud. That was my alarm. Nothing for responsibilities moves over because that's exact. Nothing for subscriptions usually moves over. This money for HBO Max will move over because, like I said, that's the extra money that my mom sent me. The other subscriptions are yearly subscriptions, so these are sinking funds, so they will roll over. Monthly varied is usually what I let roll over, and I'm going to move some of that money out and not roll over as much, because if I jump into September, you will see I have $539 available for me. I don't need all of that money. So I like to keep no more than $120 in my gas category at any one time. So I'm going to go ahead and unbudget the $80 from here, and my goal will still be met because I want a spending goal of $120 a month. And then I'm going to move money I'm going to move $50 from dining out and I think $20 from other, but instead of taking that money from September, because for instance, if I move $20 from other, oh, I guess these are spending goals as well. Okay, well, either way, I want to go ahead and move that money out of what was budgeted for it in August, instead of moving it out of what was budgeted for it in September. And then that to be budgeted money went up, is still in September. And the reason I just did that is so that when I look back at, okay, how much did I have budgeted for September, like it's what should have been budgeted. I don't know, it just makes more sense to me. So we have $150 to budget to move. I'm going to go ahead and top off this giving category. I'm going to put $30 more into it. So I now have $150 to give in September, and when I usually budget just $20, so that's great. And then the $120, don't really know what I want to do with it. Let's see here. Yeah, let's just put the $120 all into holding again. So that holding category is getting really big. You also see that I have it holding / end of year EOY paycheck, which is end of year paycheck. So I think, you know, unless something big comes up, this is kind of like, this could be like a baby emergency fund. Like I already have an emergency fund, which I'm trying to work to grow. So it's like an income replacement fund. This could be like an oh shit fund or whatever. So in case something new comes up that I need money for, I can pull it from here. But if that doesn't happen, I'm going to kind of reevaluate where my goals stand near the end of the year, and then move this money around accordingly to, you know, put more money into a certain fund. Okay, that's been done. We're going to create a new category group. It's called Wish Granted. And it got put way up there. I'm going to drag it down to under the wish list, new goals. So what I'm going to do with this is, when you have a wish farm, there every time that you meet a goal on that item, you can do a couple things. You can either hide the item, and so it goes under hidden categories. You can delete the item, or you could just keep this line item and then rename it. As long as you don't do any spending out of this category, which I didn't. I saved my iPhone 11 in this category and spent out of the electronics category for it. But what I want to do is kind of keep track of how many wish farm items I have completed. So I created this new category group called Wish Granted. I'm going to move my iPhone 11 under there. And then I'm going to hide the entire category group. So it comes up under hidden categories because I don't need it for reports for any reason. I don't need it in my budget, but if I ever am like curious, oh, you know, how many of my wish farm items have I actually achieved? I can just like scroll down to hidden categories, see, and go, okay, did my iPhone 11, okay, I did this, okay, I did this. And that's like an easy way to look at that without having to go through my reports and see, okay, which categories would I have bought my wish items out of, because they're not all going to be under the same category. Computer replacement will probably be under electronics again, but if I did like a VPN, that might be under, that might be a subscription that I add, or that might be under other. If I do something like laser hair removal, which I added, that might be under personal care. So the categories might be a little bit hard to track. So that's why I'm just going to create that category and then hide it. And then if I ever need to, I can unhide it and look at it. And every time I need to add to it, I will unhide it, drag the wish farm item under it, and then rehide it. Okay, so now that that's all done, let's go ahead and look at September's budget. So everything is set from responsibilities to mom. I actually went ahead and just transferred her that money right before I started this video. So $400 done, sent out on the 1st. My subscriptions are all paid or are budgeted for, and none of them are coming up. I have no yearly subscriptions coming up this year, so that's good. Monthly varied. I now have $120 available for gas, $60 available for dining out. I probably won't spend all of that. $66 available for other miscellaneous, $150 for giving. I already know I want to give to my friend, just started a new job, so I want to like send her some money as a little celebration. And there's a lot going on in the world right now, so I have a couple of ideas for where I want to give this money. And then for fun, I have $21.78 available for me. So winter's coming. We have $730 in gifts. I don't think I should be buying a gift this month unless I end up buying some gifts, unless I end up seeing something for my family that have either birthdays or for Christmas later on this year. But I don't have any birthdays this month. Car ownership is at $297. So my dad category. So my past couple videos I've mentioned how he's moving and I wasn't sure if he was going to need money. Last time I talked to him, he ended up taking a loan from a friend, and I think he felt more comfortable taking a loan from a friend than money from his daughter. So I had beefed it up a little bit in August, but it does not look like I'll be needing that money soon, so I'm going to just leave it where it is and keep budgeting the $50 a month for him, and eventually I will need to use it. So $840 for my sister's wedding. I will eventually. I just need to go online and do it, order my bridesmaid dress, but for the most part I don't think I'll be spending this money until her wedding actually comes, or her like bridal shower maybe, and that's going to be in early next year, early 2021. So I budgeted $100 towards debt-free fun. $80 is now available for my birthday in May of 2021, $72 in personal care, and then $529 in clothing. My travel fund is starting to grow. It has $100 from last month. And then my emergency fund is sitting at $2,415. And my end of year paycheck right now is at $946. So I will be, taking care of my emergency fund, my medical deductible categories, my new car categories, and my Roth IRA. So that's about $1,340 that will be budgeted into these savings accounts during September. And very exciting! I will probably, I'm 95% sure that I'm going to go ahead and pay off my last student loan at the end of this month. I'm thinking on or around September 25th is when I'm going to be paying this off, all $5,155. And I've never made a payment this big to my student loans. I think the biggest payment I've made has been like $1,800 maybe. I didn't have any trouble with that payment. It processed in its usual time. But if you've ever made a really large lump sum payment to pay off loans or anything like that, let me know down below if you had any problems with your bank. Is it something that I should call them about to let them know and warn them? Because $5,000 is a lot. It's to a website that they've already seen me send money to before, so it's not, I don't think they'll be like, is it fraud? But maybe they will place a hold on the transaction. I don't know. Let me know down below if you guys have any insights to offer on when you should reach out to your bank about a transaction that's going to be coming in or out. But that should be happening at the end of this month. I'm going to take you into my checking account budget. Okay, let me go ahead and report this transaction to my mom, and you'll see that I have this inputted. And so I'm not going to move any money from my savings account into my checking account. You can see just from the money that I currently have in my checking account plus my 2 paychecks from September, I should have $7,575 available in my account on September 25th. And then that would leave me $2,420 after I transferred that $5,000 out, which should be more than enough to cover anything that might need to come in or out before I get paid again. So let's move this from August to October. Yeah, because on the 28th I'll have the $500 coming out from my Roth IRA, and then on the 1st I'll have the $400 to my mom, but I'll still have $1,500 available in my checking account at that point. So we should be good to go on that. I know that Trump has extended, and the Department of Education has extended the forbearance, so the 0% interest and the $0 payments until the end of the year. But at this point, for me, I just don't think it's worth keeping this money. I mean, it was kind of worth it at the beginning when my interest for my savings account and my checking account was higher. But like where it is now, I'm getting, 0.75% on this money. And I mean, that is definitely better than nothing. And it's more than it's more than the interest is costing me because it's 0% in interest. But it's like maybe an extra couple bucks a month, and I think just like paying it off would be better. I was kind of holding on to see how I felt in March. I wanted to hold on to see how I felt about, how close we might get to the partial student loan forgiveness. But it just does not seem like it's going to happen. If it was ever going to happen, if there was ever a time to do so, I believe it was this year, and the talks that did come up about it in the past 6 months since COVID has happened has not been very promising. It doesn't look like it's really gotten a lot of attention. And part of me is like, after they've already spent so much on the stimulus packages and the COVID checks and all of that, like, I just know that they're going to be able to argue we don't have the money for it. And it's like, whatever, you have the money to you have the money to bail out all of these companies that are failing, but you don't have the money to actually help and assist and give direct cash flow to your citizens. But that's getting too political and besides the point. Something to keep in mind this September, I still haven't received anything from my work about it yet, is I might get higher paychecks because we might have Social Security taxes paused. I am hoping that my company just doesn't do it, or I'm hoping that they give us the option about if we want that money withheld or not, because I don't. Because we still have no guarantee that we won't have to pay it back when we do like our 2021 taxes. And I don't understand what the point is in giving me like an extra maybe $100 a paycheck for the next like 6 months, and then I have to pay back all of that $600 in a year. That is not a stimulus. That is not something that is really helpful to me. And I'm kind of like, I'd much rather have the second $1,200 stimulus check that Congress, the Senate, and the House both agree on. That's not something they're fighting about. They're fighting about other things. So if that does end up happening, like I do end up getting less taxes withheld, I'll just create a category. I already have like a taxes category, but I'll probably create like my Social Security and Medicare taxes category and just put that money in there and not look at it and hope that we get an actual stimulus. Those are my thoughts on that. Okay, now I'm going to, all of my, let me reconcile my checking account. That is cleared, and it is 525114. Yes. So all of my on-budget accounts and most of my tracking accounts are reconciled, but I'm going to go ahead and do my 401k on screen for you guys. So the current balance of that is $4,964.87 minus the working balance of this. So that $220.48 is just the growth that happened this month, which is very good, I think. I was really hoping that I could get to $5,000 in this, but I think once you take into account the bonus that I got for today, once that hits my account, it will definitely bring me over $5,000. So that's exciting. And then the other thing that I'm going to just do is my IRA. It's going to be on the 31st. The market again, increase in amount, and the total was 4,385.61. Here's the working balance. So this was another like $200 or close, increase. So it's $4,385.61. Yes. So all of those accounts have been updated. So let's go ahead and go to my reports and look at the net worth. So my net worth is $26,391.03. I have had a $29,500 increase in my net worth since January of 2020. So we're looking good. It's looking on the right track. My goal is to have a $30,000 net worth by the end of the year. I'm less than $4,000 away from that, but I do have several more expensive expenses or purchases that I am keeping in mind near the end of the year. So I might surpass $30,000, and then after I, spend all my Christmas money and buy my new computer, and, I'm sure something will go wrong with my car eventually, that might bring me right back to right around $30,000. So, and everyone keeps saying that the stock market is just too good right now. Like, it's just not possible that it's doing this good. So, maybe that will, I'll lose some value there. I hope not. I'm liking it right now, but okay, so I think that's everything. I'm just checking my checklist to make sure we budgeted out my interest and my interest from my checking and saving account, budgeted out my bonus, reviewed my August spending, moved extra money in August around in September, reviewed my September budget, reconciled my accounts, and looked at my net worth. And then if you just wanted to look at all dates, excluding September because that month hasn't fully happened yet, we're at 193% increase, close to that 200% mark, which would put us right at a little bit above $28,000 in net worth. So that's what I'm shooting for by the end of this year. Very exciting. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sure this video is already over 20 minutes. I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy and that you have a good day.